gang? It's your boy Chris, Face of Iron Gang, H2G Fitness Coach, and you can follow me on Instagram at _IORNG_GANG Iron_Gang. Now, the title of this video is called Fitainment. Why are we talking about Fitainment? What is Fitainment? So pretty much, if you follow the fitness industry, or if you have been following the fitness industry, or if you've just been fans of bodybuilding, fitness, or whatever, you'll notice that pretty much as of late there has been changes in the fitness industry. No longer do you find publications with Flex magazine, Muscle magazine, Men's Muscle magazine. I can't remember all the other ones out there, but if you go to the grocery store and look at your magazine section, you're not going to find a lot of magazines dedicated to bodybuilding. You might find some like men's and women's fitness, but you're not going to find a whole lot dedicated to fitness and the most popular other commercial side, which is bodybuilding. Back in the day, people used to follow these guys, especially in the early 90s, early to mid 90s, late 80s, early to mid 90s, back when bodybuilding was really popular, before the whole social media craze. People follow folks like Lee Haney, and then he really got big when Jay Cutler and well, it went from Dorian Yates, Lee Haney, Sean Ray, Kevin Levrone, all these guys, to Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, Victor Martinez, Dexter Jackson. The list goes on and on and on, right? Like, a lot of people really followed these guys, and then you saw all these guys who were really endorsed in these muscle magazines with Muscle Tech. I can't even remember. Ronnie Coleman was with No Explode, all these guys, whatever, at one point in time. And now, you don't really see a whole lot of that anymore. And so, reason partly being is because a lot of it has went from printed publication to social media. So you got a lot of fitness personalities that's moved from being writers or editors or whatever they were, part of the fitness industry when it was print publication, and pretty much they're unrestricted now. They're on YouTube, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, and they all have their own messages. A lot of them got their own brand, so now they got to follow them with a message, and they got a brand where they can market and promote things to you. However, to me, I feel like this side of the fitness industry is still somewhat underground. The difference is, it seems like more people today look up to social media fitness personalities more so than they do a lot of your IFBB pros. Like right now, the popular ones are Big Ramy, right? Big Ramy is a popular one. Phil Heath is popular. Kai Green is popular. You know, all these guys, Sean Roden, all these guys are really popping in IFBB, but they're not being looked at like they used to be looked at in the early to mid 90s. Back when you had Dorian, you had Sean, you had Kevin Levrone, all these guys, right? So you got guys like Chris Jones, who has a large loyal following, tongue twister. You got guys like the Hodge twins. You have guys like Mark Lobliner and Tiger Fitness. You got guys like Jerry Ward and Bio S3 Training. And all these guys are great, but you know, what made these guys great and able to develop more, what to me seems like more of a loyal following than a lot of your IFBB pro competitors. Me personally, I think it's the personality that they bring with them. An example of how these guys got popular, or how I feel like these guys are becoming more popular than IFBB. There's no more greater example than CT Fletcher. So if you think about CT Fletcher a couple of years ago, he was just this old school, hard-nosed, weightlifting guy, motivational guy, right? Instill your MF and set, you know what I'm saying? I command you to grow, whatever. Like, this dude was just insane motivation, but that's really all he was, and he grew a following. He grew a large following. If you look at CT Fletcher now, he is branded. This is a guy who has competed. He used to be a power lifter, but he didn't make notoriety off of competition. He didn't make notoriety off of powerlifting. He holds records, but not a lot of people nationwide knows him like they know him now for what he did in the past. You know what I'm saying? So now he's branded based off what he's done on social media in the underground. No print media publication in Flex Magazine, Muscle Magazine, or whatever the publications were or are. This dude pretty much did it all on the underground based on the YouTube channel. So when I say he's branded now, it's still your MF and set. It's copyrighted. You know what I'm saying? He makes money off of that. He can put that on a shirt and sell that to you. That's monetized. He even has his own apparel line. He even now has his own supplement line. I mean, this guy's popularity has grown. And that's an example of how the social media fitness is growing and becoming big and being popularized. Now, I call this video Fitainment, right? So it wouldn't be right to call it Fitainment without giving you the aspect of it of why is fitness being entertaining now? Why is it more popular? I think it's popular because it's entertaining. Why is it entertaining? One of the things that's so entertaining about fitness right now and social media is the beefs. Like, you probably knew that there were competitive beefs back in the day when it was just print magazine with IFBB Olympia Pro competitors when they was going from show to show competing with each other and doing pose offs and, you know, calling each other out, throwing little slick cheap shots here and there. But if you follow these new fitness guys who really are not on stage competing but are really big into fitness and all this and got a lot of content and got a large following just on the underground from Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, some of these guys don't like each other. And they let it be known through social media that they don't like each other. So what you get now is beefs. An example of that, Jason Blaha versus entire YouTube. I mean, it seems like every other week, every other month, Jason Blaha has gotten into it with a fitness personality. Rich Piana and Mac Truck right now. If you guys are following YouTube fitness right now, you know that's the biggest thing in fitness YouTube right now. And it just seems like it's not just about muscle and weights, but you get to identify with fitness stars as people. You know what I'm saying? Like they just, before when you were looking at them in the magazine, you were just looking at guys who were big, who looked like they were strong, who were in shape, something that you kind of wanted to be. And you would not just see them in articles or in interviews or Q&As in these magazines. You would see them all over these endorsements. You know what I'm saying? You would see them endorsing Muscle Tech products. You'll see Jay Cutler's face on there behind a Muscle Tech product. Or you'll see Ronnie Coleman behind a No Explode product. Or you'll see Kai Green behind a Cardio, Carnivore, whatever company he was representing back in the day, product. Now, you know, back then you didn't see the personality in these guys. You didn't get to know who these guys were. You didn't get to see them when they would talk about whatever. They couldn't talk about whatever. They were under contract with whoever. They had to pretty much stick to a storyline or whatever the managers or whatever the editors wanted them to talk about. They just couldn't be free and expressive. And that's what I think YouTube fitness has really been popularized with. I talk about the beefs. It's okay for these guys to beef. Like, they get on camera and they express themselves with each other. And it's like, okay, now we entertain. It's entertaining. It's going past fitness, nutrition, and all this. We get to see these guys give us good content on that, but we also get to see these guys be human. And I think that's the public, the general public identifies with that. And that's why we latch on to, and I think that's why people are latching on to their popularity more so than a lot of your IFBB pro competitors these days. Because let's be honest, when it comes to the fitness and nutrition, these social media stars or these fitness stars are pretty much putting out the same content that your IFBB pro competitors would have been putting out anyway. Except they doing it with a little bit more character and personality. And it's blowing up like wildfire. Which brings me to my next point, the content that they delivering. Like I said, with a lot of these guys who were pro commercial competitors in these magazines, they would give you the basics, right? They would talk about how they train, how they ate as far as nutrition. They might talk about supplementation, but they never really gave you the real deal down and dirty on fitness. For example, when I listen to Jerry Ward and he's talking about supplementation, he talks about the same thing that the IFBB competitors talk about in the magazines, but then he goes a little bit further into some stuff that you won't never catch these guys talking about, which is anabolic steroids, any other anabolic product that's on the market. And he doesn't glorify it or anything like that. He gives you the real technical rundown of what these supplements are, what's in them, what they're supposed to do. And then he says, you know, I don't recommend you take it if you feel like you have any doubt, if there's any doubt in your mind about taking them. I took this, that, and the third. I won't take this, that, and the third. I mean, they give you the real, raw, real deal. So whenever a new product comes out on the line, on the underground, and you see it says testosterone greater than any other product on the market line, and you have no idea about it, these guys are really giving you the science or the technicalities behind a lot of these supplementations. So now you're getting a furthering of education behind fitness and nutrition that otherwise you wouldn't have got if we just had the print publication media. So, and it's entertaining. Like, everybody want to know story on anabolic steroids, but none of the pros are really talking about it, right? These guys on the social media level are really talking about it, and they being honest with you, and people are they not surprised, but they loving it because they don't generally get to hear that on a consistent basis. And pretty much, you know, they have a free outlet to say that. There's nobody controlling them. There's nobody editing anything they say. They can set up a channel on YouTube for free. They can speak their mind and be expressive, get a loyal following, and pretty much put out whatever content information they want. And that's the beauty about it. That is the true beauty of it. So, in conclusion, to wrap this up, fitness entertainment. Pretty much, in my opinion, I see the fitness community currently growing and evolving. There's always going to be some good and some bad takeaways when you get people being people, right? Like, you get to see the best of people, you get to see the worst of people. Like, I personally think the whole beef thing in the fitness industry really ain't good for what they're trying to push, right? And I guess myself, because I do fitness videos now. But at the same time, these guys are putting out a lot of great content. They're giving out a lot of good information. Some of them aren't giving out so much good information. Some of them are giving out great information. But you got so much more of a variety now. You have an option now, and they have a following. So that's what I think is great about it. And they're people. Like, they are real people. You really get to connect and identify with some of these people. These people share their lives, their real life stories in front of a camera with us. You know what I'm saying? So now I can sit back and listen to a guy who's competed in X amount of competitions where otherwise I would have seen this guy and think, man, this guy's been in shape all his life. And he sits in front of a camera and tells his life story and say, no, I used to be a fat kid. I was fat all the way up until this point, and this is how I got introduced into fitness and weights and bodybuilding and all this, and I just took off with it like a wildfire and there was no turning back. And you identify with that because that's the average story of most people. We all want to get in shape. We don't know how a guy gets in front of a camera and say, I used to be like that, and this is how I did it. And now we have content, right? We have something to identify. We have something that we feel like we're part of. And I feel this way with people like me personally, people I follow like Mark Lobliner, Jerry Ward, Elliot Host, Collie Muscle, Hodge Twins, and you can go on and on and on with a lot of great people, especially from YouTube. That's how I got my education with fitness and everything, and that's how I first started learning a lot of stuff. So, you know, this is where I got my education in fitness. This is pretty much fitness guys being more than just fitness guys, you know what I'm saying? These are guys that are being fitness guys and that are giving you the real deal. And I love it. You know what I'm saying? I like the way the place that fitness is going, and I hope that it doesn't get over commercialized to the point to where it gets exploited and it gets pimped out and it's no longer organic. It's organic now, and I like that. For the good, for the bad, it's organic. It's doing all of us a justice, and all of you guys is putting out content. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it. So, if you enjoyed this video, if you like what I talked about, if you don't like what I talked about, it's Fitainment, right? Leave a comment down below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you really like this video and like my channel and like my other videos, please subscribe and hit that button in the top right corner. It might be on your left, because your left is my right is your left from the camera angle. That way you can get updates on any and all new videos as I release them. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Iron Gang, and Iron Gang out.